in the following rounds. We continue to follow Hikaru, who's smiling and seems to be in a good mood.
Yeah, no, he's back in his element. He's back at home in his office. You see the pineapple there. And this is where he built, a big fan base, a lot of his best wins online, Champions Chess Tour, chess.com, everything. He's comfortable here. He's playing I believe a Scottish teenager, one of their biggest talents they've ever had.
Oh.
So this is a young, I think he's maybe 13, 14 years old. See that blitz rating around 2,900. Certainly no pushover. These are the types of players that are here for upsets. This is, they grew up even watching Hikaru, which is, shows how much like the internet has changed.
Because there are not many sports where you can see, like, here we see him, the 15-year-old he is from Scotland, playing against the second highest rated player in the world right now. It's a pretty unique thing that these players can participate and face off against such highly rated players. And we see that there are several of the candidates who are playing this week. We've got Nakamura, Caruana, Sindoro, and Yespenko. All of them will be participating in the candidates tournament in the beginning of April, end of March. And it's hard to also prioritize playing so many online tournaments when you have such an important tournament to prepare for, and you don't want to give away any of your opening preparation.
That's exactly right. And why are they playing now? Because as it gets closer to the candidates, I expect some of those names to not play. So they want to maximize their results, so they finish. They're near the top of the leaderboard, and in case they have to miss a month because of the candidates, that they'll still have qualification chances. So it's really for those players that are playing the candidates but aren't guaranteed to make it to the EWC. This is the month, February, where they're hoping for good results, because once it comes March, candidates is in April, training camp time. Oftentimes they'll go with their team, rent out a house, just do chess all day and try to change their mentality and get ready for the candidates. And February, not quite, but expect March. Some of those names might end up having to decide, today, are we working on novelties or am I trying to win Title Tuesday?
And it's going to be interesting because this could be like the final chance that Hikaru has to participate in the candidates qualify for the World Championship match, which he hasn't done so far in his career. And he's made it very clear that that's the big dream he has in chess.
It is. I think it's most players' dream, and Hikaru does realistically recognize that it's one of his last opportunities, most likely. And so why not maximize it? Position we have here in front of us, Black's bishops are, quite active, as long as that, light squared bishop doesn't get trapped. And that's what the calculation is right now. Is that bishop stuck? Doesn't look like it. You can move it back. But all of a sudden, it's a pretty open position. Here comes the bishop, tickling the queen from behind. White has that passed pawn in the middle. Black has the c-file. Pretty competitive start so far.
Yeah, and the computer's evaluation is saying that the Scottish teenager is slightly better. And Hikaru is struggling to find a place for his queen. He looks a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, the queen is a bit misplaced on the edge of the board, and that pawn, that passed pawn White has, is only supported by that bishop, that fianchettoed bishop. So look at Black's position. The knight and the rook are both attacking d5, and it's hard for White to defend because the queen is boxed out, and the rooks can't slide over to defend the pawn from behind because that bishop is covering the square.
Ooh.
And
is he losing the pawn?
Losing the pawn potentially, but at the same time, Black's e-pawn, that center pawn, is also loose.
Oh.
So the thing is, if everything gets traded off, I win a pawn, you win a pawn, Black's still doing okay because Hikaru's queen is on the edge of the board.
Oh, but Hikaru doesn't take the pawn immediately. And we can see that Waldhausen, he is taking this game very seriously in the way that he's like holding his head in his hands and he's leaning forwards. Hikaru,
we have
look
the
at his
forehead
face.
cam.
Yeah. Hikaru's not really saying much either. That usually a sign that he feels like the position is requiring a lot of concentration from him.
Of course, I missed that too.
So
of course I missed that
no,
too.
We're seeing some loose pawns here, Hikaru. It's definitely, I don't think he's in big trouble yet, But I don't see an advantage here. Black's position looks very active. See that queen in the middle of the board. We see this pawn that Black has some pressure on.
And
Hikaru really needs to bring the queen back in the game. So at some point, he has to decide, oh, he's played it. I'm not going to keep defending that pawn over here on the queen side. My best chance of winning this game is with activity.
okay. And now Hikaru is trying to evolve his rook and his queen.
Hikaru's down a pawn, but his position is now easier to play. Really active pieces, control over a file. Queen is back in the game. It's a risky decision, but generally when he does it, he's got a plan. He favors his practical chances. I like this move, pushing the H pawn. You just want to push it down the board, and sometimes you can use that pawn, coordinate with your queen, and generate some checkmating ideas.
Hikaru's shaking his head a lot.
Oh.
He seems unhappy.
If I go rook d7, now there's b4, some nonsense.
Some nonsense.
Yeah, Hikaru is making some mistakes here. What he just said is correct. The thing for Black here, the bishop wants to join the game. So at some point, Frederick Waldhausen needs to find a way to get that bishop in the game. But so far, he's doing very well.
Can we see a back and forth here? I can't imagine Hikaru thinking that's a good idea.
Here we go. That move, you might lose that pawn, but if you can bring your bishop in the game. The worst thing is when you lose a game, you get checkmated, and you have a piece like stuck on the side of the board. It's like, why did I not use all of my pieces? And so this decision right here, maybe Hikaru can take that pawn. That's what he's calculating. Either way, oh wow, we see some more head shaking. Hikaru's going for the kill.
Ooh.
Look for the rook for Hikaru to sacrifice and rip open the 7th rank. Some serious threats here. This is a very, very serious threat. Rook moving forward, sacrificing for the knight, trying to gain access to the g7 square.
But according to the computer, there is some solution.
There is. It's just, can he find it? Is there enough
He's
time?
spending a lot of time.
Yes.
And think about how important this game could be for him to be the number 2 in the world.
I thought that's a great move. That's a great move. Because if rook takes knight, instead of taking the rook back, you take the other rook on the queen side. And Hikaru's probably not happy because this allows some trades.
Rook e5, queen d6 takes.
He is calculating as much as he can, but it seems very complicated now with all these pieces hanging in all kinds of directions. And both of them down to less than a minute and 10 seconds. Hikaru has less time on the clock. That's very rare that we see that.
No, that's right. Trying to figure out, can he keep more pieces on the board? He wants to put pressure on his younger opponent. Rook e5 with the threat, hitting the queen horizontally. And queen moves down, looking to pin that rook. Hikaru takes the pawn. There's a move here, though. There should be an issue. What's the move for Black? He's got a bit of time to think, and this rook on e5 is pinned. Knight g7. The fianchettoing the knight's not what you see every day.
Wow. And it's still quite even on the clocks.
If I'm playing Black, I need to trade pieces off. It's an uncomfortable position to just play with so much material because there's checkmate threats towards Black's king.
And does chase Hikaru's queen back with both his knight and his rook. Where's that queen going to go now?
Hikaru sacrificed, but now all of a sudden we see a big threat coming in, a big fork. Wait, what is that?
What is going on?
Oh, that's a blunder. That's just a blunder. Discover check, picks up the queen.
And his opponent resigns.
We all warm up and get into it. But another very, very poor game.
Okay, so Hikaru, he is critical of his own.